Alrighty. Market is open. Let me get the Discord up and going. Alrighty. Share entire screen. There's that. And here is what's going on. We're getting set up here. Let me let everyone know we are live. Events. Here. Alrighty. Give everyone a second. What's going on? If you got questions, let me know. Just kind of everything started taking off all of a sudden. Come on, Archer. What's happening? There we go. This is a Damien buy right here based on his 2 SMA. 2 SMA across. Buy diamond, pulled back perfectly to the $10. Held. Momentum. Curl cross. Curling. Curling. Curling cross. Curling cross. Volume increasing. SMR back on the table. This is based on the 2-hour time frame, but daily, it's not going to be as clean because obviously 2-hour then ramps into the daily. So just kind of looking ahead of it. When I'm looking for our pullback zones, right? This is what I'm looking for. I'm trying to wait for until we get down to one here. But we're going to go over a bunch of things. Hello, hello, hello. Just kind of like looking at it like a perfect setup. This is like what I would call a perfect setup right here. Everything is happening all at the same time. All the indicators. Love when that happens. Let's see here. Fintech kind of curling up. TE taking off again. Boom. Redwire's red, which is kind of surprising with all their contracts they're announcing. I think you just see a little bit of consolidation actually here, and I do think you're going to make another leg up to your 16. I thought about buying some this morning when it was red before it went green. Now I'm thinking about it again, even though we got rid of it right here in this price range. But I'm just going to stay back, wait till I see at least this stuff flip. But we're going to go over a bunch of stuff. Still waiting. There's still a few minutes, but you guys can drop questions or any charts. We can kind of just talk about them while we're waiting for people to come in, or I can load up some stuff. If I just want to look at my simple day-to-day charts, this is all I do. If you set up this chart, if you guys can have multiple charts, or if you just have a free chart one like Yahoo, Like I have my free Yahoo account is set up like this, where it's just RSI, MACD, Bollinger Bands, and moving averages. Pretty much any free platform has this. Thumb through all your pretty much your watch list every morning. And all I'm going to do is see like top band, covered calls, top band, covered calls, middle band. It depends on how bullish you are on the company, I guess, but top band, so covered calls, top band, covered calls, top band. This was bottom band yesterday, so that was CSPs yesterday. APLD still top band, right? So that's all I'm doing. I'm thumbing through yesterday, Wolf, bottom band. You could have done a CSP. Cypher yesterday, bottom band, CSP. You're back up top today. FLNC still has gap fills down here, but you're still top band. So like if you just go through every morning your watch list and see where they are on the band, SMR was perfectly at the bottom of the band yesterday. I think this is a great play. It filled its gap, pulled back right to the right Fibonacci. 2-hour time frame is now bullish on SMR. I think SMR has now completed its pullback before going to the next leg higher. So it would be a good time to get back into SMR, I do believe. You can wait if you want for NVIDIA's earnings for after close. And we have the like minutes coming from the FOMC, whatever you want to call it, FOMC. Minutes come out at 2:30 today, so there could be some volatility at the end of the day. But SMR looks complete. You can see that we filled this gap. Okay, we're at the bottom of the Bollinger Band, and if you guys look at it on my other chart with all the overwhelming data, 2-hour time frame, curling up, bullish, curling, 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 curling and crossed. Volume is increasing. Okay. We got the buy. We came down to the Fibonacci. As you guys saw in the other one, we completed the gap fill yesterday. So the gap is now filled. So I think SMR is set for the next leg higher. For you guys, if you guys want to know what that next leg higher looks like, or it's not going to go straight to there. Obviously, it'll do the, up, down, and piss you off along the way. But target wise, you are looking for 18. Weird how that lines up perfectly with your 200 weekly weighted moving average. So that's your next target. Okay. It's going to, do whatever it takes to get there, but it's going to go there would be your next target. Okay. So just talking about, thumbing through your entire watch list, seeing where they are. This is covered call. If you have TE, right? MP, bottom of the band, you're looking for CSPs. UUU, bottom of the band, CSPs. Orla, bottom of the band, CSPs. CSPs, right? ONDS, CSPs. These are probably nearly all at the top. Sadu, you could do CSPs. Sadel top. Right, I'm just gonna go through these. Wait till 3 more minutes until the 10:30 start time. Again, you guys can put whatever ones in the chat. We can kind of go through them. As you guys know, Hood is at the bottom. CSPs. SoFi at the bottom. CSPs. PGY is at the bottom. CSPs. Right. TEM bottom. NVOs at the top. I'm just going through the watch list. HIMS. CSPs. ZVRA, CSPs, ABCL was CSP yesterday. Now you're in the covered call range going back to the top. Okay. Joby, top. Archer, bottom, right on the 50-day moving average. CSP yesterday. Even today, it's just flat, so it's not going to be bad if you want CSP on Archer. Okay. Oscar's at the top. Intel, Navitas, I'm assuming, is at the top. Yep. Definitely at the top there. INFQ is at the bottom. You can go ahead. CSP as well. Came down, tested it. We got in, went up, set covered calls, collected premium, came down here. You can do more CSPs if you want. Bottom band retest, and we can go higher. Nothing's changed as far as the chart goes. IREN. Any specific questions about it, or just in general? You're wanting to know things? CSPs. Yesterday when I posted the chart yesterday was the most ideal day. Obviously up 4.5% today is not the best day to do it. Yesterday bottom band posted in the option chat room. CSP, like I spam the CSPs. Here, I'll pull it up too. I don't know if you saw it. Option chat room. Stupid Mac. Got a freaking still learning how to Mac around here. Okay. So INFQ bottom band, SMR filled the gap, ONDS filled the gap, HIMS 20. SoFi can't hold 15, 13 is next, war needs to end. Cypher, CSP, IREN, CSP 45. Because that's where those moving averages were. So if we get any red pullback or anything today, you could do that. Whoa, that's too many of me in one place. Jeez Louise. Alrighty. Yeah, so was looking for this to come down here, bounce, kind of like we did. So I was gonna say set CSPs at like 45 would be good. But let's go to looking at their chart as a whole. IREN. You can see we have our little standard pullback support levels. It came down here, 786. You're getting your 2-hour ad like we did last time, right? Pullback came to support, 2-hour ad. Go ahead. Looks like curling. Purple came down just like it did last time. All right, these are going to be little quick waves. So when we get these pullbacks and started your kind of bull momentum run, you're looking for kind of the 2 hours on the pullback. So I think IREN completed its pullback. All right, let me see if my pricing. Morning, Nibius. All right, let's do it. Hold on real quick. Make sure you guys have this on when you guys have your Heikinashis, by the way. Real pricing displaying on here instead of the Heikinashi price. I don't know why that was off. Nibius. I would be, let's see, 2-hour time frame. Curl. Let me just see one. I'm sorry. I'm gonna just chart real quick. Holding. So your covered call 618. Probably be a little bit more proactive. I would be looking to roll it. Is it the amount of share? It all comes down to your game plan with these shares. Okay. Trying to time the top or just trying to collect money, but still hold, right? Because all you're going to do is give up time to roll up your price. PGY, is it red this morning? It's green right now. I mean, it's still down there. I mean, you're red today. It's a rolling opportunity. You did technically come down and complete a pullback to the 382 zone on Nibius here. You can see, or the 5. Well, it depends on which one you want to go off of. Either way, they both hit a pullback. Grab here and here, and either way, it came down a good chunk from the last move. So I would be looking to roll. See where you'd want to go. Or this is what I would, I guess, I think 50, right? You're gonna have that mental number of 250. Since I can't like physically see what you can roll to for a credit, I'm not, you know, exactly sure, but 261. So what I do, I see targets, for ourselves. I think I posted them in here as well. Let me just go see what I posted in the past, since I usually delete it. I just, charts change. I delete my charts. So Nibius, I posted 196, 225, 243, 272. All right. As long as the weekly is remaining bullish, then that's good. Which it's getting up there, but you're still holding strong, so that's good. I would be looking to roll. You wouldn't want to go too far out, but you still want to be able to move your price up a good chunk, right? You want to be able to move it for like 230, 240 at least. So see how far, like, rolling out 1 month or 2 month more than where you're currently at, and what your price can get up to, and then you can put it in the chat. Tell me what you could roll into, 1 month or 2 month out, whatever you think, and then tell me how high you could roll up to. We'll take a look at that. Intel, SE, Poet, Cipher. Yeah. Yep. All the ones that have kind of completed their pullbacks, going crazy. Intel's just been on a crazy run. Trump has obviously forced some deals to happen with Intel that they would not have gotten. But he saw an opportunity for a company that was ultimately slowly dying off, that wasn't doing much, to then turn it into something that, US based company making things that we needed the company to do well here. So he just made it happen. Poet, I think, Damien was talking about this one this morning, right? Let's see. Still hasn't flipped bullish. Doesn't mean that the reversal hasn't started yet. Sometimes it just takes a little longer, like this. Freaking drag that 2-hour time frame out for a long time. Let's see here. Freaking touched 618 on the freaking dot, and then bounced. Golden Fibonacci. Got to know where the golden fib is. Also where this one rejected last time. So at least on this next run up, you should get to roughly 26. So a nice little double up from the current move. So there you go with Poet and PGY. All right, you got your 2-hour time frame consolidating down here. Let's go down to the 4-hour. Let's go do the daily. Curling down. And the weekly still bullish. The weekly's still bullish, so that's a good sign. Volume is still increasing on the weekly. Structure is not lost. We are at the bottom of the band. Wherever that just went. I was just looking at it. Bottom of the band. No more gaps to fill. Gap is filled. Still below the 50 now. That's on the daily. So yeah, you could do CSP. Obviously, I'd like it to be a red day, but it's actually fairly flat. So as long as the premiums haven't jumped any crazy amount, then CSPing the $12 or being aggressive and doing 12.50 or 13 at the money, and then the premium removing your cost average down would be up to you on that one. So yeah, ONDS completed the gap fill after amazing earnings. All right, let's see what you got with your roll. Let's see these numbers. Waiting on them. If you guys have questions, let me know. TE with a 24% day. I know Bain Capital got back into SMR this morning. So, okay, I like both are for credits. That's good. If you did August, I would move your strike up higher if you could, whether it's 245 or 250, just because you're giving the company more time, right? Personally, I would just do the July one because you get to move your thing up $40 and get a credit of 352, and you still get to continue to roll if needed, right? You can still buy more time. So that allows you. And if it pulls back, then you obviously were able to still get a little bit more credit, more than what you were going to get anyway. And then, like I said, you can always roll more. Sub, you didn't watch my video. I'm just kidding. Yeah, and this one. So the middle bar that you have on yours, I don't know. I uploaded probably an old version of mine before I added that middle bar, but there's a middle bar that goes red and green, right? Red and green. In the middle on yours. Oh, sorry, Momentum Elite. This one. Yep. So these lines right here, the purple and orange lines, are a standard MACD. Okay. The same thing that this is. Okay. This is just a MACD indicator. That's all it is. Nothing special about it. Just a standard MACD, right? But for people that don't have a paid version of TradingView that can't have all the indicators in the world on their screen, I put it on here because it's a very helpful momentum, right, indicator. So this is the MACD. The green, white bars, red bars, these little columns here are our standard momentum. This one, this chart here with the purple line, white line, that's what those histograms are, or the columns are. So you can see right here, this went green is the same time that this bar crossed over the white. So the second it crossed over the white, this flicked green because this is now bullish. Okay, the closer it gets to this white line, the closer this gets to flipping negative. Okay. So this is just your momentum, MACD, and then your tags are to tell you when there is a divergence happening. So right here, bullish divergence is happening. Price is going down. Momentum is moving upwards. Okay. As far as like you can see, very bearish. Hold on, let me get this. See how low this red bar is, but the price is way up here, right? Now the momentum's down here, but the price is continuing to go down. So this has become more bullish while this has become more bearish. So therefore now there is a bullish divergence happening and the start of the reversals happening. So this is a bearish divergence where the momentum is dying off, but the price action is continuing to rise. And then sure enough, 1 week, 2 weeks later, the reversal then starts. Okay. So these tags are just letting you know when there's a bullish divergence, meaning, things should be flipping here shortly, and a bearish divergence when things should be flipping to the downside. Okay. So those are the momentums involved in it. Awesome. PGY going up. Space. I was kind of surprised space went red this morning. Let's see. SMR is still holding. Data centers. Let's go. Let's run it back. Run it back. BBAI. Haven't looked in a minute. Came down perfectly. Tested the weekly, or the 200 weekly weighted moving average, holding it off right now. That's good. Let's go down to the daily time frame. So daily bearish. I'm assuming 2 hour flip bullish. Yep, there's your 2 hour bullish. Let's see where this pullback came down to. 0.5. I prefer pull back a little bit more, but I understand there's another support level there. So BBAI is still in the uptrend. Weekly's bullish. If you guys want to know kind of the overall, if something is bullish or bearish, just look at the weekly time frame. If your weekly time frame momentum elite indicator is green, okay, it is still bullish until this flips red, right? The second this flips red and kind of the MACD is also going, negative, right? Then you should be bearish on the company. Until it kind of flips green, you're still kind of consolidating or downtrend or one of the two. You want to make sure that the weekly, you're kind of going long on companies that are bullish on the weekly, right? As far as like when you're trading the 2 hour time frames and kind of stuff like that, it's easier when the higher time frame is going in that same direction. So when the weekly is bullish, I can trade, the 2 hour time frame. I can trade the daily, I could trade the 30 minutes. Just because if I needed to, for whatever reason, just need to hold because I looked away, the stock went against me, whatever it may be. That's a lot of green volume, by the way, on BBAI. Then I can trade and holds because the higher time frame is going in the same direction I was betting on, so I have time on my hands, right? And that's the goal. So weekly time frame is bullish or bearish. You want to make sure you're kind of trading in that direction. For a company that is bullish on a weekly, I wouldn't really want to place puts on the week on that company, unless you really got a handle on it. But to play it safe and have the longer time frame working for you, you want to make sure you're trading in that direction. Okay. I think Soundhound also completed a nice. Oh, we need to break this. We need to break it and hold it, but we are making still higher lows and higher highs right now. So nothing's changed for Soundhound. I would assume it's going to make its next leg higher. Look at all these freaking lines. Hold on. let me go to a different time frame. Daily time frame. Yeah. So top. Broke it, came back. Hold on, let me zoom in. You can see that it has a clear resistance level and it finally broke it, came down. Okay. Next resistance that it's facing, you can see here's the trend bouncing off of it. Okay. We're going to hit a resistance somewhere up here as we make our way up. And then we want to hopefully try to get back into this right here, and then you can make the pop to the 30 range, higher targets. Okay. What's up, Cynthia? What's up, Raj? You guys can drop yours down below. If you guys have questions. ONDS making a move back. Did exactly what we thought it was going to do. Very nice. It's so funny. Hims was green yesterday when a bloody day was happening, but then on a green day, Hims is red flat. Manipulation. Like insane, but nothing's changed. Structure's still there. That's good. That's the good news. I didn't love the raise of capital. I understand why they did it. I just thought you had a little bit more momentum of the stock going on, that you could have raised capital. Like if you waited 30 freaking days, you probably would have been able to raise it for a higher price and done a little better. But what do you guys want? What's the next one you guys wanted to go over, or questions? Happy to go over any questions. Still working with Damien on working on his 2 SMA, trying to take the human aspect out of it. Clean Spark, we talked about it, top of the band. Well, let's look at the other way. Give me one sec. Let's take a look. Daily, choppy, weekly. Let's go to the weekly. So everything looks good higher time frame wise. Okay. That's good news. Now let's break it down. I have not. This is still in wave 1, it feels like. Because wave 1 will typically, you want it to pull back to 618. Wave 1 doesn't typically pull back to 382. That's usually what wave 4 does. Yeah, wave 4 typically pulls back to 382 or 5. Wave 1 typically pulls back to 618. So right now, which would make sense, that would still pull back all the way to the 200 weighted, weekly weighted moving average. We can look up the other moving averages going on here. Let's see. Where's your 50-day and 200-day? So came down, tested that. But your 200-day is still sitting right down here near your golden Fibonacci. Let's see, 2 hour. So I still got a little bit more up. It's crazy because, again, I still think that you're going to have a bigger pullback. And that's the wave I like to get into. But let's give you at least a little bit of a target. If this is 1625. Is there anything? Oh, there's some. I guess, yeah, there's a lot of chop resistance right here. Kind of where you're coming up to on Clean Spark. Like I said, I still would think that there's going to be a deeper pullback for Clean Spark. Yeah, I mean, you're coming up to targets at least. If this was your pullback, I don't think it was, but if it is your pullback, you're coming up to your first target price. And what's funny is that the final target is at the top of this resistance level. So you're in the first resistance and then the top of the first resistance in this whole like consolidation box. So you have your targets. So I would probably switch to a closer time frame and start playing that. You got a nice green increase in volume happening still, but I would just click to the smaller time frames as you're approaching these targets to try to time, getting out a little bit better. You can zoom in as high a time frame or small as a time frame as you want. Obviously, the higher the time frame, the more drawdown. And yeah, so him and I were talking about the 2 SMA. Would love for it to be a little bit more automated, because when there's a human aspect to it, then there's no way of really teaching or ultimate this kind of makes it pretty straightforward with the ads and buys. But when you add the 2 SMA and you flip down, right? Hold on. Actually, here. I was helping him build it. Hold on. Damien, no, he's not in here today. So back testing wise, it's a lot of trades on the 2 hour, right? 9% average win. 9% is your total average profit. This is on Cypher. 1.8% is your average loss. So we just need to automate it better, so it's not, a whole lot of in and out constantly, and take the human thought process out of it, so we can kind of automate it. So that's the goal. I was working with him. We got this trend line right here that turns red and green based on the 2 hour, or based on the 2 SMA, right? It goes over it, turns green. You're in it, and then it turns red on this day, and you're out of it, right? And then, but this is the part where flips green, flips red. This is the human aspect of it, where it's am I in or am I out? What am I? And then it pops, right? So then again, out of it, in of it, out of it. So it's just a little tougher. Obviously, you can use it for the weekly. There's going to be way less, noise. And this is 3 weeks, right? You're out of it, out 1 week, 2 week, and then back in it. So a little bit more time frame. But yeah, we're working on it. We're gonna see if there's a way to make it really help. Good day moving. We said SMR's feeling good. Come on, buddy. You can get up there. Come on, Hims, go green. Came down, touch your little Fibonacci, get the heck up. You can start rebounding again. Archer went green. That's a good sign. Like Archer going green. 786. Yep. There it is. Found support. 786. What else you guys got? There's a problem. A lot in and out. If we can have it. Yep. Nice, Ella. That's good. So you're able to move 40 bucks up, and you're waiting 30 days extra, but you like the company long term, so nothing changes. And if it doesn't get there, you keep all the premium, right? So, or if it keeps going, wait till it finds its next top, pulls back like you just did, and then roll it again, right? That's the part of being proactive on the rolling. Let's see. What other ones are you guys looking at that you guys are should I get to it? Should I stay out of it? Right? Let's see here. Did something come out, or this is just because we were red the past 2 days? Because I'm not on. Oh, I can go to X real quick. Let's take a look. See what's going on. Nibius and Bloom Energy signed an agreement worth $2.6 billion. That was 52 minutes ago. At least somebody posted that. I do just so you guys know, you're probably tired of me talking about it, because I'm telling you right now. Oh, BBAI. Someone I follow bought BBAI. Um, with rate hikes, right? Everyone's talking about rate hikes. Yet SoFi is still holding 15. Dip under it a little bit, but still holding 15 strong with now conversation of rate hikes out there. And I kind of like that it's doing that because now if rate hikes don't happen, that's just more fuel, right? So it's kind of crazy that we're still holding 15 and they're talking about hiking rates. So I do, even though I don't love the thought that they are, but I think that's I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't, but definitely a scare tactic to get people to drop their shares. Not falling for it. SoFi will retire me. One guy did bring up they are technically eligible to be pretty much bought out though, which would be not fun. I mean, we'd still win on the trade, but it's not what we'd want. What other ones you guys got? What questions do you guys have? What do you want me to go over? Wheel strategy, options, leaps, what you're looking for. I know we talked about it a little bit and did a video. Let's see. Let's see. ONDS. I just have my watch list, so if you guys don't have any other ones for me to look at. Who's up? Arms up big. AMPG came down a little bit. So who was in that? Keep an eye, as you can see, volume, even though when popping big, today was a good pop. Still have a decrease in volume happening, so just pay attention to that. Clean Spark, still got an increase in volume happening, so that's a good sign. Summit, Navitas still doing its thing. I would imagine the pullback is over for Navitas to head to its targets. Still have some more upside. I heard a badink. Oh, that's an alert. We have a, where is our SPY calls coming in January 2027, 770. Okay. Someone put a big order for United Health puts. AMAT, a couple calls happening. NVO, long options, when to roll or get out parameters you look at. Do you have a current one you're talking about as far as date goes or anything? So guys, I grabbed the bottom here to find where it was going, right? I grabbed the bottom here, grabbed the top here, and here is the pullback, and here are our targets, okay? So we hit our targets. To figure out next, right? Back here. This is where I typically likes to go 382. What'd I say? Okay, this is, if you want to learn how to count waves, you can. So, but again, I don't. But what I was saying was typically wave one likes to pull back deeper than at least the 382. Okay, this is why on your Clean Spark one, I was like, I don't think it's done, but it might be. And that's why we got those targets, but pulled back to the 0.5. And then typically this is going to be wave 3. And then typically on wave 4, it usually only pulls back to the 382. Okay. And then it goes to your 2618 next. Oops. Why are you not deleting? Okay, we'll do it that way. So NVO should head up to 54, 55. Next. So I don't really roll long options. For me, I don't really roll them. I only roll covered calls and cash secured puts. I don't really do any rolling of long options. For me, I just close them and then I reopen them at a more optimal time, because typically when you're rolling it, it's not always the optimal time to roll, right? I would rather wait for the stock to make a move higher. I would like to close it, and then when I get a pullback, I would like to then buy it again at a later date at a higher or further strike price and everything like that. Because when you're rolling for like buying options, when the stock goes higher, it's not always right. Like the stock went higher, therefore you got paid more, but so did the option you're going to buy next, right? You rolled to the next one, so therefore that one went higher also. So now to optimize the roll or option changing that you're trying to do would be the stock goes higher, you close it for, if it's a loss, right? And then when it pulls back, now that new option just became cheaper, and then you're going to go ahead and buy that one. So, which will help you make up some ground on your loss in the option. Lows. It's a good sign that they had good earnings. I haven't looked at them in a long time. Whole lot of nada. I'd just be waiting for the weekly time frame. I do see, I mean, it's just been a decrease in volume. The whole time it's been going up, decrease. You see it way up here, one is down here, and then as it keeps going higher and higher and higher, it's just slowly dying off. Monthly's bearish. Weekly's bearish. What, daily? Daily. Daily hasn't flipped bullish yet, but I'd wait for the weekly. So when that kind of populates, we'll take a look at it again. But are you currently in it? I think you'll get there. I don't know you might get there by that date, but 482 would be your target you're looking for. And you might get there by 6.5. It's going to be real close though. It's going to be really close. But you're bouncing off of the 200 SMA on the daily time frame right now. Holding it, so that's good. It's good news. Standard pullback, nothing's changed formation wise. If you pull this, I'm sure it's going to land you at the, I don't know, you might be 618 or 786. 618. 618 bouncing up. So looks like could be making a move to your 482 here next. We need Nvidia to have good earnings. Okay. If it's an earnings play, did it pop already? Because he could be out. I don't. Earnings. Standard candle. It's trying to rally back. So you need short term. It's going to go fill this gap. That's what it's doing. Gap down. Sorry, let me see what we are working with. Just trying to see. Is it an option? Is it an option, or is it just because it almost looks like it wants to like curl. Like how much time? I didn't look at that option. Let me see if it's on there. And then I'll get to your next question on L on the spreadsheet. Okay, 717 call. Oh, I think you're gonna have time to recover that for sure. Like just what I'm seeing. Curl bottom, close to the bottom, not crossed over yet. But if you look at the 4 hour, just bring it in one more time frame. It's already crossed. Pulling back now, probably to retest this moving average to then pop higher. So I do think you're going to be okay with that. 2 hour time frame, still bullish. Weekly, obviously, no. Looks close. I think you're going to have time for that. But if it makes you uncomfortable and you can, if it flips green, obviously on your option, then go ahead and take it if it makes you uncomfortable. But with the 4 hour being bullish and the 2 hour, that's a good sign. All right. Spreadsheet. What is the closing cost on a roll? So you rolled for a credit of 30 cents, right? I don't know what the actual credit was, but let's just say 30 cents. Okay. It tells you what your new contract is, right? So if it says your new contract is $1, right, a premium, it says it on your, like when you click onto your contract that you see right now, what you're currently holding, what your new contract is. Okay, let's just say it says it's $1, and you know you got a credit of 30 cents. That means you closed your previous one for 70 cents, because now 70 cents plus the 30 cents of credit would equal the $1 you got now. So take what your new contract is, subtract the credit, and that is what your closing cost was. And then when you put your new one in, you don't put what your credit was, you put what the contract price was. So you put your closing cost is 70 cents, your new contract is $1, right? And in between the close and the $1 total profit, 30 cents was the gain. Hopefully that helps. Let's see here. VIX is still down. Bitcoin crypto needs to start making their move. Everyone was a little weirded out with the Bitcoin ETF. Trump no longer filed. Goldman Sachs sold all their Ethereum and Bitcoin, right? Like it was kind of weird that all those were populating at the same time. What's up, Damien? What's up, Harry? Welcome in, guys. We're talking about, we're going over, you know, we talked a little bit about your 2 SMA a little earlier morning. Things are moving this morning. Whoa, that was a big drop. This thing was up a good chunk. Yeah, quick drop. What do we think about NVIDIA's earnings? Who's playing the NVIDIA earnings? Is anybody playing them? I see people typing. I'm waiting to see the responses. $250 to $280. We hope they have great earnings. I think Trump probably said he should probably remain positive, on their flight. Hopefully, they talk a little bit about what that China opportunity or how that kind of meeting went and what that's going to look like for them. Um, so yeah, I would agree. I hope it all pans out. Otherwise, still got your standard pullbacks. I would think that 110 retest here. Sorry, retest come down. Um, let's look at what the daily. It's pretty extended. Not on the not on the. Yeah, I think you're. Ah, man, Nvidia's tough. I don't love it, but weekly higher time frames are bullish, so still targets. Let's see, 2 hour. You got some curling happening. Yeah, that's a oh man, that's a tough one. It's earnings, right? We keep getting it's a mixed bag. You think it's a no-brainer, they're gonna do good, and then it still goes down. So that's tough to say. Yeah, but for the whole market, we want this thing to perform. Quantum making their move. Pullbacks are complete. Pullbacks are complete. Filled the gap. That was what the INFQ needed. Or Getty with a double bottom. That's good. Let's see. This one had a big day yesterday. Where is... Wow, everything is moving. What news came out? There had to be news. Because now spy call is flowing in like crazy. President Trump signed an executive order to reduce regulatory barriers for fintech firms and supporting the integration of digital assets into traditional finance and payment systems. The order directs federal finance regulatory to review existing rules, guidance, and partnerships between fintech companies and federal regulated institutions. A major focus is digital assets and blockchain-based services. Federal Reserve is asked to evaluate whether non-bank financial companies, including digital asset firms, can directly access Fed payment accounts and payment services. Regulators have 90 days to identify the barriers, while the Federal Reserve has 120 days to deliver its findings and recommendations to the White House. Okay. We have some money in some fintechs, so we're good with that news. That's good news. Noto has made it very clear that he wants to comment and support, the current House. Real quick, again, Damien and I have talked about this guy a couple times. He's makes great charts. Obviously, I don't know. There's not a whole lot deep like into them where they're just go. It's kind of where they're just going long term is kind of what I take from them, but maybe there's more detail that I'm missing on. But when he posts stock pattern pros, you see what our thing says, right? BPAI bullish, buy it. Okay, his chart says the same thing. Well, how he's kind of charting it, it's like okay, this should ramp up all the way and should get back to $8-7 to hit this little barrier. Okay. Awesome. Our BBAI is reading, the same thing. So we should go ahead and make that play. I don't have enough cash to make more plays. I'm just kind of holding on to the cash I have right now. But in general, that's what you can do. Okay. Use other people's charts, use our indicators, stuff like that. Yeah, it's a great one to check. Same thing with Redwire. He has a high target for Redwire. He doesn't point out all the waves of everything and where it's going to bounce. He just, he just says it's going up, okay, or it's going down, one way or another. Doesn't mean he's 100% always right, but it is good to cross-reference our stuff. And if he posts the chart, I think he did Redwire. I think he says 32. I think that's kind of where our Fibonacci's land. Also, sorry. Freaking my hiccups. Jeez Louise. Yeah, here you go. Redwire. This is the breakout. And then he's like, it's going higher. Okay. So that's what we got. So when we get our buys, and you can cross-reference and talk to, and look at his too. Great person, great charts. Here's the news thing. I can post it in the chat. So if you guys wanted to see what I was reading about fintech, okay. This is great. Nibius, yep. BBAI. This is the part we just showed you. If you guys want, you guys can follow Flow God. He uses Bullflow. He's just posting the same thing that we are getting in our Discord, so you don't really need to follow. If you guys want to see Bullflow, okay, our alerts come through. So, Damien, just so you can see, okay, loaded up on the MU dip. Yeah, and there's a lot of call options on MU. When the alerts come through, Damien, they tell you what option to buy, or what the option that people are buying. So this is like an urgent repeater. So a lot of people are buying Tesla 410 calls for May 20th. Remember, they're not saying it's going to 410. The premium is maybe, if I click on this, it should take me to it. So 410, and he bought it for $4. So really, he's saying 414. And the stock is, I don't even know what the current, it's currently 412, right? But as long as it goes way past that, then he makes a lot more money. So you can see that there's a lot of orders today on this option. There's endless amount. This is why it's called an urgent repeater. There's a crazy amount of people buying it constantly right now, okay? And then this guy came in with a big heap in 560,000 into this same play, right? Sig Score is saying how rare this is, right? Like, this is normal amount of money being put into this kind of play, right? And then this is very weird. So now you just saw somebody placed a QQQ put, 1.3 million. Okay, this is just the index of SPY and QQQ. I only do it for orders over $1 million because I don't care about all the $20,000 ones. That's just normal people. But we want to know the whales. Obviously, bigger the money, bigger the play, and bigger the most likely they know something when it's more money getting put into this. AMAT, this guy was loading up on 630 and 630 calls. So all you're doing is it tells you the expiration date, it tells you the strike, it tells you what they bought it for, and whether or not you're bullish on that company. So if you saw, what was the one you're asking about, Poet, Damien, this morning? See if there's any big money ones happening. Doesn't look like it. They'll pop up gold on this side if it is going to be anything crazy. No Poets. MU might. I just want to kind of give you guys examples because you guys get these notifications coming through. I don't look at blocks. We look at sweeps. Okay. Here you go. MU. 750. So they're betting on the stock 750 plus premium of 41. So 790 basically is what they're betting on. This is for, holy moly, this is just July 5th, okay? and they did about $6.5 million. Okay. Those alerts came through our Discord. Okay. That's how you know which ones are getting right. This is big money stepping in, calling out this. Doesn't mean it's not going to tell you when they sell, right? You can play it, manage it yourself. If you're up, take your wins, and stuff like that. So, but it'll tell you what the strike was, what the date was, and what the premium was that they paid. So you can make sure if you see the alert and it said they bought it for 41, but now it's 46. Okay, maybe don't buy it, right? It's already made maybe its move that person was betting on, right? So you gotta still be smart about that. We can look see if SMR's just got money, but it's got a lot of bull, like it's bullish, 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 bullish. Right, this one's up 37% since 10:05 this morning when they placed it. Okay, it's up 37%. So we can kind of use that to your advantage inside the Discord with those alerts. I'm trying to work with them to see if they can allow us to set up a custom alert because I can, but I don't want it to flood the ones that they suggest, right? I want to keep their formula. Hey, whoa. Give me, this stuff moves so fast. There it is. 500,000 in HIMS calls, 2020 or 22 strike, 717, 314. That's a big contract. Huh. All right. I like to see. Obviously, you like to see companies you hold that have some sort of bullish big buy happening. That's good. So if you guys have questions on this or anything, please let me know. I'm still learning about gamma exposure and reading the heat maps to understand kind of where the stock is going to go. Here's your MU. There is 26 million sitting up here at $8. I think you're about to get something, Damien, like you said, an explosion is about to happen on MU. Do they have earnings? What catalyst would be right now that it's going to go to 800? That's an insane amount. 26 million sitting up there. 24 million down here. Dang. I think those people they need to move. Wow. Big money playing in this game. So yeah, this is just telling you how much money is sitting where and where the stock, it's going to gravitate towards the big money plays, right? 650 down here, but then you have 800 down here. What's that put you at? That puts you right at your 725, right? Right in the middle of 800 to 650 is, I think, 725, somewhere in there, right? I can't do math right now. And let's just raise the target to 840. Well, I think analysts have some money at 800 is what I think is happening. We put all this money at 800 and we're going to continue to raise it to 840 so we can get paid. But yeah, we can kind of go over the stuff I'm learning. They have an AI tool also. I can ask for like an analyst. So I'm going to see if there is a way for me to like do something cool for us in the community to like, here's what our bull flow analyst says on this stock that we're researching, and kind of see if this gives us a good kind of thought process through it all, right? What else you guys wanted to go over? Strategies. Trump orders U.S. government to update regulatory. Yep, we just talked about this. Look at you. Hey, just a little tip to you guys. Okay, when you see positive news in general out there happening on social media, you share it and you repost it and you like it. Okay, negative news, stay away. Don't repost it. Don't share it. Don't do nothing. The algos will take care of negative news plenty. So that's just my thought. Whenever you see your company have good news, reshare it. I don't care if you reshare it 1,000 times. Just keep resharing, right? You want to get as many people's eyes on good news as possible. Bezos was making some statements about taxes this morning, I think. I was like, I'm not even awake. How are you guys up doing interviews right now? Okay, that's crazy. Anyway, we can go over some more charts. This guy, he's got A-Lab. Just, I think he has a pretty, oh, there's the BBAI. Panama largest logistics operator. I want a government contract from BBAI. Without the government contract, I don't think it's a monster of a company. So, go over some more charts. What you guys want to go over? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Efficient yields rising again. Should we stay bullish or stay reduced risky? I would when things are hitting targets, I would be taking your wins right now and raising some cash. Because until this war is officially over, the main run, a big run, is not going to happen. Right? You're going to have these fears, you're going to have the rise. But as soon as the war can officially be over, you can deploy more cash. So that's kind of my thoughts, is kind of take your wins. If things are still down where, you're happy to own, for me, for example, SoFi, I'm not taking my wins. I'm holding for that. The downside is very little compared to the amount of upside. So it doesn't make sense for me to raise cash using that one. But if your stocks are hitting targets and hitting runs and everything like that, then take those wins and start raising some cash that you can have for an opportunity as the yields rise. But again, Trump has said it. He doesn't want a war. He will have it, but he doesn't want it. And he said it, we can't afford a war. Not that we can't afford it cost-wise, because we just put everything on fucking credit cards, but we can't afford it because the yields, the interest rates, everything else macro-wise, we can't afford to take on a war right now. And he knows that. So that's why he's like, okay, I'll give you 3 more days. Okay, I'll give you 2 more days. Okay, 1 more week, right? He's really trying not to go to war, but still apply enough pressure, keep everyone happy, not spike everything like crazy. I mean, he's doing a great job with the whole balance of it all, but decision time is going to come. And I really hope the decision is that we just said, we agree to whatever we can come to terms-wise, because we don't want a war. But again, he's not going to let him have a nuke. So he's going to go to war if we have to go to war. But yeah, anything that's run and far from averages, take your wins, because those are the ones that can fall the most compared to those that are still lagging as a whole. This guy called Ass Livermore. Feel like, why have I seen that name? I feel like recently. He posted a lot great content. Most recent dip, day or 2 before it happened. Is that the guy that Stock Pro posted about? Great scammer. What the heck? Yeah. This is the guy. Stock Pro posted him as well. Said this is the only subscription that Stock Pro pays for. But yeah, I haven't done too much digging on him, but yeah, I do know. I'll follow him so I don't forget to go back to him. Scanner? Hold on. Reading through chats. Harry, where are you learning to read heat map, etc.? I mean, I use Bullflow because I bought Bullflow for the Discord to have, Flowbot. So I use Bullflow. I can send you my link to it. And I think they are the least expensive with one of the best platforms out there. So I can get you the link. Yeah, I think for let's see. I guess it's not going to let me pull that up. I'd have to pull it up on a separate browser. If you know where, Stock Scanner. Okay. I got you. So if you want to see companies in a bull flag, you can do this. Okay, that's pretty cool. Is it going to let me, or do I have to pay for this? I feel like I have to pay. Okay, you got NVIDIA, Avgo, Lilly, Oracle, United Health, MS, Goldman Sachs, TX. There's going to be a lot. I'm not going to go through them all, but so yeah, if you guys want to go to his X account, Livermore, Ask Livermore, go to his website. It says Stock Scanner, and you can kind of see based on formations. Short squeeze. I mean, we all like bull flags, right? So like bull flag would probably be one of the top scanners. I don't care for golden crosses. Ascending triangles is a good one. MACD bullish cross. That's just what we have. So yeah, go through these, play with it. Let's see if this brings it up. Pricing. There it is. So basic. This is their new one they just released. I have no clue if it's worth it or not. So, but this is what it cost. I'll send you the link, and I'll reach out to them. Maybe I can get a discount code for our community. So I'll check on that for you. Come on. Final stages. Can we get for bull flow? Absolutely, yeah. Working together 100%. Open communication through community, other communities communicating is definitely how you can be, everyone can be very successful. And definitely getting different perspectives, right? Damien and I will have different views on stocks, right? Whether or not we think that it's about to turn bullish or bearish, but we talk about it, try to figure out what we're seeing. Him and I have discussed many times where we're like, hey, like, what do you see? And then I chart it, and he goes, it's completely opposite of what I see. Like, it's crazy that you can have different perspectives, even though the chart is identical and we're looking at the same thing. So it's just important. And then, I'm like, okay, I do see that, stuff like that. It's crazy. It's awesome. Settlement. Sorry, I'm just trying to see what's going on that's making everything. But it looks like if we can be in the final talks, final phase, and not drop anything, I would. Okay, the one thing that scares me, guys, that I think, and if you guys have been with me for a while now, Damien, what is this weekend? Anybody want to say it? What's this weekend? It's a 3-day weekend. Okay. Yeah, I know. 3-day weekend. Final stages of talks. I don't love 3-day weekends, guys. Trump uses 3-day weekends to make a lot of noise. Okay. His goal is to make a lot of noise Friday night, right when the market closes at 8 o'clock. Okay. He usually makes a lot of noise. And then, hopefully, by Monday, 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock window, he has everything cleaned up. Okay. Um, that's the part that worries me on this 3-day weekend with being in the final stages of war. Okay. Um, I don't love the 3-day weekend coming up. The part I don't like about the 3-day weekend, besides the noise, is that when it's a war, all the other things, tariffs and all that stuff, he controls the narrative pretty much, right? Like, he can clean up his own mess. When it comes to a war, there's another party, a third party involved that if they don't want to clean up the mess by Monday, 6 o'clock, then the mess isn't going to be cleaned up, right? So if we were to hit them, we have to hit them extremely hard, everything we got, and have the war done by Monday, right? So that's the only part that I'm not a huge fan of. It's a big part why you haven't seen me add to any positions this week is because of a 3-day weekend we're going into with the talks and war not being over. I rather wait for confirmation that the war has ended to know, or that, we're pulling out, whatever the news may be. But I rather wait and not be having my cash on a 3-day weekend. Yeah, Memorial Day weekend. So Monday we're closed. Monday no market. Yep. So great. Another guy you guys can follow on X. I'll give you guys all of them. I got no problem. Make everyone better, right? See what everyone's doing. This guy does more weeklies. Option selling with Christian. Okay. He gave me like a 30-day trial to check him out and see. He just was talking to me. I was commenting on his stuff. I was like, keep it up, good stuff. You actually don't need to subscribe. I think that's why he gave me the trial, just to check it all out. But you can see what he did. Obviously, you'd be a day behind because he posted at the end of the day. But what he does, you can see that these are mainly like weeklies. It's a lot of transactions. He does a lot of transactions. I can't keep up with that, the amount of transactions. But another guy who's running the wheel and living off of it and enjoying family time is this guy. So another one you guys could follow, see what he's doing. Rinsing Trades is another one. He mainly focuses on the weekly. He's a pilot during the day, so he doesn't have a whole lot of time. So he mainly just focuses on the weekly time frame and doing 30 days to 45 days out. Car, DJT. Little DJT action, huh? What other ones you guys wanted to go over? I appreciate you guys all coming in. Appreciate you guys. Red Robin, yum. Right? That's their slogan. I had a Red Robin right by my old house. Freaking loved it. You got a double bottom here. Double bottom. Solely chart, or are you talking company wise? Because less people are definitely eating out at restaurants than they are going to fast food places right now. To be honest, I didn't even know this company was publicly traded. When was this? 2015, 2015? That's a huge candle. The heck did this come from? Is that earnings? No. Day before earnings. Monthly? Never ending. bullish divergence happening. This is slowly creeping up as this has been going down. That's a good sign. But man. Yeah, it's just, you're just looking for the small plays, but like I would rather stay the hell away. You know, how many other companies are freaking dips and rips, you know, that actually have a leg to stand on? Are they just dying? Year to date, I mean, I guess if you just keep falling, eventually you're gonna have one good year. 10. I just wouldn't even entertain this company. I mean, it's done well since our weeklies. So like it's doing well. You can clear most of these weeklies are turning into profits. You know, weekly up, weekly up, weekly up, weekly up, double weekly. So I would just buy the weekly and play the daily trims is what I would probably do. Yeah. Buy the weeklies, trim the dailies. So far, that's how it's been playing out. Buy the weeklies, trim the dailies. A bark box. I haven't looked at Oracle yet. I can look. Is Bark a bark box? My wife subscribed to that. We ended that shit. Is it Bark Box? It's just Bark. Oh my god. Damien, what are you doing to me? You trying to find some random ass companies? Are we going down the shitty company investing portfolio? What are we doing here? Well, weekly's not bullish. Okay, so waiting on the weekly. Daily is awful. I would assume. Let's see what your lower time frames are looking like, Damien. Just do your 2 SMA, I guess, on this. You know, let's go, because this is. Look at that. That one was good. No, what are you doing? What are we? Yeah. Okay. Good. You stopped. You're done. Stop messing with that. Is it BarkBox? It's gonna drive me insane. Is it? Yeah. Well, what's funny is that we subscribed to this. I think it was like 5 to, I don't know, maybe $20 a month. Dog toys, dog treats, dog food, blah blah. Okay, and then we'd go to the like Goodwill, and there'd be like brand new bark boxes there for like $2-3. It was unopened, and we just ended up buying bark boxes from there instead. Oh yeah. No, if your BarkBox $20 subscription ends up in a Goodwill unused, probably not going to go so well. Space is going to continue. ASTS, is it going to finally do it? Is it going to finally break out? Need this volume to get up. We need that volume to get up. Are we still in this little resistance box? ONDS. Did you get back into this one? Anybody? Add yesterday when we posted it. SMR 5% today. Ooh, Iren. I see you. Lead the charge. I ran to 100. I'm waiting for Damien's words. Words of wisdom. Let me have it. Well, you and me we can both pray on the sidelines together, Damien, because actually Owen DS won't be the one that does it for me, but I thought that breakout was going to be the one. In my retirement account, guys, I do hold it. I don't share my retirement account plays because it's random. I don't have the same flexibility of rolling options and doing everything in my retirement. So I don't share those trades. You guys get my main portfolio trades. But I was very fortunate enough to sell 1172, and then I bought back yesterday in my retirement account. But I'm back in it. I wasn't gonna get out of it for long. I just made the quick play. Yeah. Yeah, Oscar for sure. And tell me if I miss a message or anything, guys. Like, happy to help. Look. All right, let's draw some retracements. So the weekly is going to be the same as the daily. Okay, I can go to the weekly, but it's the same, right? There was never a pullback. Never a pullback, right? So all you're going to do is grab your fib retracements, okay, tool on TradingView, and you're going to go to the bottom of this before the impulse wave, right? So bottom, and then you're going to go all the way to the top. Boom. Okay. So you should see a pullback at these levels. So you're going to get $19.90, $20, right? And then you got 18.15, which lines up with a good chunk of support resistance, right? Bounce, 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 bounce. Okay, a lot. You still have this gap down here. Scares the shit out of me. I'm not in it anymore, but scares the shit out of me, right? This gap. Typically, you will see pullbacks to golden Fibonacci's, which currently lines up with your 50-day moving average and your 200-day moving average. So this is where we could see that main pullback come back to your moving averages. Depends on how much time, right? If this is like a slow pullback, then these moving average could move up. So keep an eye on. But you do have a gap down here, okay? Moving averages are sitting right here in the 16s. The smallest pullback you would see would be 20. No, when I set my covered calls, it took my shares. So I am out. Out on Oscar. Plus, like I said, you're at a pretty big resistance level that it broke, but it can quickly pull back and fail that. So a pullback is needed. It'd be very healthy. This was at like freaking 87 RSI, completely crossed to the downside, crossing, starting to get this curling motion, clearly overextended. It has not been this, MACD has not been this high ever. Okay, so you're just extended. So pullback levels. Okay. Well, 17 was a strike, and I think the premium put me somewhere at like 18 or something. Okay, and I'm gonna preference you guys on this part right now, because you guys will say you missed out. I didn't miss out because I already told myself with Oscar, okay, that once it got to 18, I was selling. Okay. So whether or not, the only reason I know it's here at this price, you're like, oh, I could have sold it for this price. That's not true, because if it was true, right, you would have to know without a covered call in your possession that you guys would have actually not hit the sold button during this run up. Okay? There's no knowing that answer. It's clear to now, like, oh yeah, I would have held. No, not true. During each run up, every day you would be like, should I sell? Should I sell? Should I sell? And eventually you would have hit the sold button, right? So it's tough to say, but I was already having the mindset that I was like, I'm out. Not so much. I was just like, there's no love happening. Um, I already have my long-term hold companies. I really have a lot in healthcare, right? Oscar and HIMS. I was like, I don't need to have both, right? If I'm already have my two long-term companies, I don't need to have a third one. Then I really have no money to work with. 24. I don't own, but following the two SMA. That's good. Yeah. So we had the chart was perfect. I think no one was anticipating it to just run nonstop to there, right? I pictured a lot of people imagined, which is why we set our covered call where we set it, was that I wanted the shares called away. Okay. And I pictured that this $18 barrier was going to hold or show some sort of resistance. So it was going to go up to 18 and then it was going to reject. And I wanted to make sure I still had a chance of it getting called away at 17, right? So I think I still would have played it the same way. It just happened that the company was not doing any sort of pullbacks and was going to go straight up, right? Last time, what did it do? Went to 18, pulled back down to 13, then went up, then pulled back, right? All these little bumps along the way. This one was no bumps along the way. Just happened to work out that time, right? Work out that way that time, but all the other ones, there's bumps all along the way, right? Even here, bumps, 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 bumps. So this was like the first time it actually just didn't stop. Happens. Is what it is. I didn't lose on the trade, made money, no complaints, right? Well, I imagine that if you wanted to get back into it, you're going to get an opportunity to get back into it. So, yeah. And the two SMA, we said we just need to figure out a little bit more on the exact rules of it more, because obviously there's a lot of other times and then there's the one time. Well, not the one time, you know what I mean though, like this down to up to down to up to down, right? So, but then you have these times that it does do that. So it's just finding out, because if you then got out and then got back in, you would have sold and then bought higher, right, during these little moves. So got to figure out what exactly all works to then ride, to know to ride this one, right? What else you guys got? I did get the job. Woohoo! Part-time, remote, still working from home. Nothing changes. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. It is with a publicly traded company, currently only over the counter at the moment. I don't know all that I can say, but I'm not that I can't say the stock, but you're gonna see it, and it's pennies on pennies on pennies on pennies for now. But ALDS 0027. Okay. This isn't the same company that it was, right? It's technically a new company. So none of this is really historical data, is their data. February 11th probably is when the news came out, would be my assumption. So that's will be the ticker. I'm excited for what could come of it. So we'll see. I appreciate it. But yeah, I'm interested to kind of watch and see. This is my first time working with a company that's kind of like this. So, what else you guys got? Not financial advice. I'm not saying to go buy the stock. I'm just saying. I am invested in the company though. That's it. ZS. Oracle and ZS. That's right. Damien, you're in ZS, right? Meant to put that on the alerts. There it is. Weekly coming down to the 887. Furthest pullback you want to happen. Okay. So you got the bottom to the top to the bottom here. Okay. You should get to a target about 365. Or higher. Which actually I think you're going to get to. There it is. 365, 520. I think your stock pro guy is in this one. I think he is. I always forget the name of it. Stock pattern. Let's just see. So not selling. Okay. Maybe he hasn't. I forget which one he brought up, and I saw that he posted it recently. But weekly is bullish. You're in it. Daily bullish, but you're kind of extended at this point, so I'd assume that a pullback comes into play from this most recent run at some point. I can grab all the small waves. Let's grab the small waves. You can go down to smaller time frames and find all the little waves. I only do that really very rarely. There you go. All right, you've hit your target. You've hit the target currently on ZS, so you're gonna have your pullback. Okay, and your pullback will be somewhere between here. Typically not that far. So you got 160 to about 150. You obviously have this 50-day moving average. You would like it to hold. I mean, it could, but I don't think it will come back down and test these. Get your pullback there. So, and then you're going to go higher. If you were to go higher, your target would then be 203, which will be right here at your moving average. So you're going to probably come up and hit the target of your 200 weekly weighted moving average right here in this zone. So pull back and then head higher to your 203, 204. Paper gains, that's what it was. So, but yeah, you hit your first target here. So I'd expect to pull back. All right. Then Oracle, ORCL. Weekly. Man, we came up to that resistance box. Yep. Why the heck is that? Oh, because that's where it was. Got it. So, hold on. Pull back. All right, that's done. Up. Delete. Pull back. Bottom. Grab the top. Roughly right there. Okay. So it bounced off of here twice. 1, 2, and it's still holding it. Came down a little bit, but still holding in here. Let's see. And this is based off of this. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. I think you're heading to once you break this, you're heading to 250. That's where I'd put it. Okay. And again, the reason why wave 3, okay, this is wave 1. Wave 1 up, wave 2 pull back. So wave 3 target is typically the 1618. Okay. So boom to boom and up. Okay. Then you're going to pull back, and then you're going to go to wave 5, and wave 5 would typically be the 2618. So then you're going to go to the 304 range. Okay. So that's what I see. Now, what I want to see is go to your 2-hour time frame. You get the buy signal. Come on. Nope, not yet. Little curl. You haven't gotten it yet. Just look for that 2-hour time frame. Add here and kind of play that. It looks like it's coming. 1 hour, you're bullish. So based on the 1 hour being bullish, I would assume that this 2-hour time frame is going to come into play. You can wait for it. But if you follow your 2 SMA rule, we are getting there. Right, Damien? Where are we at? What do we think? I was looking at the 2-hour, not the daily. Just because you're in a bullish and you're pulled back already. I'm trying to catch this reversal. I'm really liking the Fibonacci's and then the 2-hour pull time frame. ABCL. My dad called me on this yesterday. He's like, I'm going on my morning walk. What do you think about ABCL? And I said, my targets for ABCL still remain $7, $10. Said you came back, you're in your moving average bundle of things of joy. And I think you're, good to add here if you want to. Yeah, okay. Or Damien agrees. Oracle looks good or dang close. So 1 hour looks good, 2 hour looks dang close. So we're that's what we were saying. All right, we're on the same page. So yeah, and then you have ABCL is rocking and rolling. Okay. Again, if you grab the bottom of this and do a little bit of the top of this, and then grab all your fib levels. Okay, came down, bounce, bounce, bounce. Okay, came down, bounced here, came up, rejected up here, came down, found support, bounce, bounce, bounce. Okay, fib levels are supports and resistances. They're not just support levels. They will fight. If you find support here, you can find resistance at the one above. Okay. Look at Navitas, 14% day. ABCL with the 11%. TE with a nice 30% day. Are you still in it, Damien? I wasn't sure if the thing, I forget who shared the bearish news or X share scared you out of it or not. Nice. Good job. Woohoo. Yeah. It had a pop of a day and then it pulled back very nicely. So that was great. Great job. And you can see last week was the weekly ad. Okay. Yeah, if you guys stay on theme with what's kind of been working and not working as far as the market, right? Space is hot. Energy is hot. Data centers are hot. Rare earths. This one, UUU's pulled back. Lost it. lost the trend. Okay. Don't love that, but that's okay. We're not in it, so it's okay. It's not like there wasn't warning signs. Um, but if you go on sectors, into the hot sectors and go based off, weeklies, right? The last weekly was down here. Um, on any of them, I don't know. Well, we know Cypher and Iran have been good. I think BBAI. Yep. Um, just got to stay on the hot sectors, right? Don't go to Bark. Don't go to whatever the other one Damien said out there. Um, like obviously, failing companies, don't try to time the failing companies, um, and keep sticking with your winners like Navitas. Okay. What other ones are you guys looking at? Relative volume indicator. Is there one out there that you use so I can kind of look into them? Is it the lonesome one? By Ripster47. Okay. I gotcha. I gotcha. But you want it more of something that looks like one of these instead of like what this is? I wonder if there's a way for me to add that into our other volume one. We can talk. You can tell me what you use it for, or how you use it. I know it's like relative to the average because then you see a boost in relative and therefore there's a movement happening. I'm sure there's what TE. Am I on TE right now? Look at TE just going crazy. Yeah, see, you can see relative volume 261%. That is an insane amount of volume comparative to what the average is. So you can see volume versus the average volume. Like right now, we're only at 39% on Iran. Yeah, I kind of wish it showed me the history of it, right? So we can see exactly what. Yeah, but the question I always have about relative volume is it is does like that day of relative volume, like for example TE relative volume. I don't know what I wish this would tell me the past days, right? What the previous days were like, um, but obviously you see this and you're like, oh, okay, big move. Well, yeah, it's already done a big move. So how much relative move is left, right? Um, which I guess you just look at your trend lines and everything, um, and see exactly where it could go. Um, Everything's still moving. Navitas still going. Moving, we're moving, we're moving. It's a lot of moving. As far as Tesla goes, okay, one sec. I'm going to accept, but whoever was in the Tesla one, if Tesla itself is too much money to play options, TSLL is your other way to play the options. Okay. Came down perfectly, touched the 200. But your premiums are going to be far less expensive because the stock itself is less expensive. So you can risk less to make relatively the same money. So just know that you could play TSLL instead of just Tesla outright. What's up, Damien?
So what I was gonna say, you were asking about volume and how to tell. I don't know the best way, but if you add a volume indicator on your chart,
Mm-hmm. Well, I have it.
um,
Yeah, right here.
do you have it pulled up? Right. And now if you like scroll to the left, like just scroll and you'll look at the bottom right. Keep scrolling until you hit the volume. No, 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 no. Like keep it open. on the daily or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and then use two fingers and move your chart so it goes to the right to where like you start touching the volume bars like you're on today. And at the bottom right corner, does yours show you um, what the volume was for that day? Does like a little thing pop
Oh
up?
yeah,
It
if I
says
hold
volume.
it. Yeah, 23.96. Yeah, 14. Yeah, it tells me for the day.
Right. Yeah. So if you're able, if you kind of just scroll back to when things before things were popping, and just when things were kind of normal,
Yeah,
then I think that kind of helps get a good gauge of okay, what the volume kind of is.
right. Did this pull back? Where did it pull back to?
Like I said, I don't know the perfect way. Look at TE now. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
I'm so annoyed that I'm not like day trading this today.
do you,
I've had some not great day trading days recently, so I decided to take a step back and just
of course.
Focus a little bit more on my swing trades
Yep.
and just buying stuff on these bottom of the trend channels and ride them to the top and start getting like in the weeds with day trading sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's broken out.
Yeah, I was gonna sell my TE when it came back up to 9. We'll see what happens. I'm watching it now. I've got it on the 30-minute chart for the 2 SMA. It won't time the top, but if it flips, I
Yeah.
can make a decision there. But yeah, the relative volume, real quick. The reason I use that is because in following Ross Cameron, who's really big in day trading, one of his top 5 pillars for day trading is he pretty much only takes stocks that um, have a 5x relative volume, which would be 500%.
Right.
Um, but he's also trading those stocks that like make like 300% moves in a day, like
Yeah.
insane things that are super volatile. That's not gonna happen per se on like a TE or an IREN.
Right.
But if you're looking at the stock in the morning or whatever it is, and and you start noticing the relative volume on something moving up
Yep.
and crossing over 100%, there's a good chance that if it keeps going, that if it hasn't already made a huge move, it's probably going to move soon.
Right.
So it's just a good thing that I like to keep it on my charts and keep an eye on it and see what's happening. Because you'll notice once you have that on, if you go start looking at the stocks that are moving big, and you look at the relative volume,
Mm-hmm.
like Red Robin. I know we kind of just trashed it, but its relative volume for the day is 1,350%,
What the heck was the?
and it's up 22%. So
Yeah. Okay, I see.
and relative volume doesn't always say you're gonna have like, because sometimes I'll be trading Poet and it only has like a 14% relative volume, but
Yeah.
it's still moving.
Yeah. It just means it might not hold very well.
Yeah, it's just a good thing. Like Hive is up 15% today, and it's got relative volume of 126%.
Mm-hmm.
And increasing at the moment as the prices just went from 15 to 17%.
Yeah.
So as I was saying, if there's a way for you to take a look into maybe adding that into the indicators that we all utilize, it might help the group a little bit
Yep.
to have that on their radar.
Let's see. I'm trying to see who has a high. Clean Spark with a 117. Serve. Interesting. I'll have to play with it a little bit. I don't remember when I charted this, but it was a long time ago. funny looking back when you forget to cancel out your drawings and then you're like, oh wow, it played out. What other things you guys got? I know some of you are working and just listening and everything like that. It's all recorded. Have a great day. Um, if you guys, like I've said in the past, if you guys see someone has a strategy and you want me to dig into that strategy and figure out pros, cons, can we use it to make ours better? Send it to us. Send it in the chat. Send it directly to me, however you want. I love digging into other people's strategies, picking them apart, finding out if there's a piece of that puzzle that we can add to ours. Like we're trying to figure out with the 2 SMA right now. Then we're going to look into the relative volume as well, and just see what else we can, see if we can eliminate some false signals maybe on other ones. So that's what we're going to work on. But anything else, guys, before we get off for the day? 3-day weekend. Things are hitting targets. Okay. Make sure you take advantage of that. Just going to see if anything populates in the chat. We're all learning. I appreciate you guys, though. Thank you for bringing things to our attentions. That's perfect. I think 35%, 25% cash is perfect. I think opportunity presents itself on a stock you like to do your CSPs or anything like that. Then we posted a couple charts yesterday. Obviously, today's a fairly green day. But or wait till Oscar gets back down, bottom of its band or close to the bottom, right? Gets the bottom middle band at least is 19. Moving averages, like I said, are down here in the 16s. So gets down here, you get to reset. As you can see, there's curling, it's extended. We should see a move down to kind of get reset, and you can, do a portion of that cash now back into Oscar setting CSPs. And let's see. There's quite a bit bottom band. And like I said, this in the morning, guys, when I wake up, this is all I do. I go to my basic chart, get back to how I started. And I hate this gap down here, 13. And I just thumb through these and see where they are on the band. Okay. Of course, Harry, I appreciate it. So just thumb through, see where they are on the band. You can see that OSS has this gap fill down here at 10s. Right, so you just kind of just thumb through where these are on the chart, and if they're at the bottom band, AMPX, currently bottom band, you can see the moving average, and there's a gap fill. You can see this gap. If I need, I can turn this on, gaps. Okay. So I don't know if I'd worry about this one too much unless a bigger correction as a market as a whole, but you can see there's this gap fill, there's the 200 SMA. So you could start trying to look to play some like CSPs on AMPX, like 13, 14, 13, start like dollar cost averaging into it. And then you have a gap fill upward to 20. Okay. You're currently holding support kind of right here at this bottom recently. Like I said, I still think you would go fill this gap. You're already pretty much close to it. You might as well go do it. So like this one would be where I'm looking for AMPX. But yeah, just thumb through it. I can't believe TE is going to go to 10. That's crazy. You can see SMR just filled the gap here. On the pullback, filled the gap, and I think now you're going to go on your next kind of leg up. ONDS came back, filled the gap, bottom of the band. If it was a red day today, like it was yesterday, it would have been the day for like a CSP. So that's all. Just kind of thumb through your watch list, see where it is on the band. If anything's on the bottom band and you get a red moment, a flat moment, you can go ahead and place that. But I think you're in a good spot, especially with the 3-day weekend. Like I said, a lot of things can happen over the 3-day weekend. You don't lose by having cash. You're still getting paid interest, most likely in your brokerage account. You're still getting paid money. Things have ran. Give them a moment. Give yourself a moment. Breathe, reset, come up with your game plan. Just because you have cash does not mean you need to deploy the cash immediately. Wait for an opportune time in a company you like. If you like IREN still, right? It just came back to the top half of the band. It was at the bottom yesterday. But you can look for this one. If you were to get another red day, red moment, you could add Cypher, stuff like that. So just kind of game plan your cash with companies you like. You have a moment of 35% cash to kind of reset yourself, figure out what companies, stuff like that. Is a stock you have currently going to be called away? Is it currently going to hit a target you're going to want to sell, and that cash is going to be increasing, right? You're giving yourself a moment right now to see where your portfolio is, really analyze, because you have plenty of money in the market, right? 65% of your cash is in the market. Now you just need to kind of focus on where you want your portfolio to be percentage wise into each company. Other positions, do you need to average down? Stuff like that. So just don't rush into it. Let the 3-day weekend happen for you. That's what I'm doing. I'm letting a 3-day weekend happen, and we'll reassess. Reassess after the 3-day weekend. See how much noise the orange man can make. Right. So that's all. That's all I'm doing. I'm just gonna sit back, wait. Even though today's super green, it's obviously everything pulled back. So 8% up is still got a lot more to go, right? It needs to go 26% higher to get back to where we just were. So you're still buying things at discounts from where they just were a week ago. So anything else from you guys? I appreciate you guys. I clearly got some homework to do. I got some great stuff from you guys. Relative volume, 2 SMA. I'm going to work on a bull flow discount code for anyone that wants it for themselves. Like I said, I'm going to work on the heat map. And I'm going to work on if I can use their analyst tool to print out anything or like create a thread or something like that for analyst kind of information. So we're going to dig into a few more things. But other than that, guys, I will talk to you guys in the chats, and then we have, what's today? Wednesday. So we have Thursday, Friday, 3-day weekend. Enjoy your family, enjoy your friends. Take time to kind of enjoy yourselves, right? Don't worry so much about what all this is. There's a bunch of noise mixed in with it, but enjoy your family, enjoy your time. I know I'm going to. Family coming in town, so I'm excited for that. And we got our anniversary date tonight, so I got to get ready for that too. So I appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful day. I will talk to you guys in the chats.